Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different for my garden tours. There's going to be quite a lot of background noise as the farmers around me are getting ready for the hurricane as well. But before hopping into it, hello, my name is Emily. This is Emmett. He's going to help me film this morning. This is MacInnis Mama, where you'll find mostly bookish content, but the occasional gardening video like what you're watching today. I have been recording my journey of learning how to grow food for this is my second year. It's not going so great, but it's more of a gardening diary for me rather than a how-to situation. And today I want to do a before and after for Hurricane Fiona. We are about to get smashed with Hurricane Fiona and I'm feeling quite nervous about it. So I want to take a before, like what my garden looks like now, and what it's gonna look like after. I'm so scared for like my sunflowers and stuff. I'm sure they're gonna be broken off, my tomato plants. I hope that the fences around my garden beds are safe and don't get lifted off somewheres or broken or trees falling on them. I have no idea what to truly expect. So I keep looking around. They're cutting over there with the tractor. Animals are getting moved around to safety. Everyone around me is preparing for the worst but hoping for the best, as they say. And Hurricane Fiona has really damaged like Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and it's colliding with another storm before it hits us here in Nova Scotia. Now, we get hurricanes every year, but usually it just ends up being a rainy, windy time, not too bad. So I've been rambling on for way too long. Let's check out the garden. Let's start here with the new garden beds. We have these beautiful evening sunflowers. I think they're so stunning. I love the coloring on them. This one's a bit more brown, whereas this one's kind of orange. This was actually, it's like a double sunflower because the deer ate the first one, so you can't really see. But it's two stems, two flowers coming off of one plant, and I love them so much. Now this is my tomato jungle. These are the tomatoes that were not doing so hot in the greenhouse because I didn't have space for them until this new bed went in, and they went absolutely nuts. Now, this guy got too big and is now experiencing some sort of disease. I should cut that off, but that's not my priority for today. Later this afternoon, once they have a chance to dry out a little bit, the rain is starting this evening, I need to come in and harvest all of my green tomatoes. I want to hopefully ripen them in the house because I would really prefer to have red tomatoes, but I don't want to risk, geez Louise, I don't want to risk keeping them here and then having no tomatoes. If you could see, some of the tomatoes down here are absolutely huge, and I want to make sure that I get those and they don't just fly off in the wind. Now in here is looking pretty sad. I did plant some like lettuces and stuff, but I think I have some sort of pest living in here. And every time something popped up, it gets munched down. There is one lone spinach that looks like it is surviving so far. The beans are looking really sad over there. There's some pepper plants underneath the tomatoes. I'm really sorry for the noise, but this is gonna have to do for now. This squash got eaten by a deer, recovered, and is now trying its hardest to give me one squash, but I don't think it's going to have enough time to do anything before the frost gets it regardless. But it is cool to see one baby squash on there. So this is the before the hurricane for my new garden bed. We will see what all those tomato plants look like after the storm hits. This is the before for the in-ground beds. This, I don't even know how to begin to amend this. I have tried a ton of things, compost, fish emulsion, BT for pest control. I even planted a bunch of daikon radishes in every single bed, and the pests are eating them. If you could kind of see here, like they're just not growing well. And everything that's in here dies, except for the strawberries, and the beans do well, and the peas. So those are the only crops that do well in this bed, so I guess I'm going to just take that and run with it. I did get some decent sized carrots from in this corner earlier this year. I don't know what to do. Again, here's more daikon radish that is not growing well. This cabbage seems like okay-ish, except it's been in since early spring and it's only this big. But careful with it, Emmett. This is the before of this one. The thing I'm concerned about with this bed is the fencing around. Hopefully that will survive the storm, because that's going to be a really big fix if this 7-foot tall fence around it gets blown over. I just wanted to do a quick pan around the backyard. I hope that none of these trees fall down, but just wanted a quick clip as we come to the original raised bed garden. Just, can you point and show us? So here we have 6 more tomato plants. These are not doing super well. I don't really know what is happening with these. They don't look as healthy as they did last year, so I think I'm going to have to be mindful about a crop rotation for next year, because this is the same place I put tomatoes last year, and I put them in for the 2nd year. I have no idea what the owners previous did, and they're just not as healthy, but I have gotten plenty of tomatoes off of these plants. And again, this afternoon, once I have a chance to dry out a little bit with some sunshine and warm weather, I'm going to pull all these tomatoes off green. I do have some bean plants in here that I planted as a crop, as a fall crop, hoping to get a few more beans before frost. Gentle, Here are some more beautiful evening sunflowers. Same thing happened. A deer bit the original one off. It recovered and grew 2. These are so stunning, and I think that these will be a casualty of the hurricane. And then we have this sunflower too, which is looking a little droopy and sad. Like I said, we've been getting a ton of rain all week leading up to it. There is a bumblebee trying to stay safe in there. Oh, that's so sad. I'm worried about that for the hurricane as well. We have some carrots growing in here and some beets, as well as I have some peppers, some jalapeno peppers growing on there. I think I'm going to leave those. I think these are close enough to the ground that I hope that the wind won't be too bad on them versus the sunflower and the tomatoes. I'm leaving everything in here. We have a cucumber, celery, a bunch of kale, broccoli and cabbage and kale over here. That was a fall crop. I have hit these with BT a couple days ago because the cabbage worms keep eating everything. You leave it. But this is what this looks like before the storm. I should grab those onions too. And the first bed. And a quick look at Wyatt's. I'm not too worried about his. His broccoli and kale are doing something funky. I think it's because the pool isn't quite deep enough that it's like coming up out of the soil, but it's still growing and looks healthy. His broccoli looks better than any of mine, but it still hasn't formed like a broccoli head. It's just a bunch of broccoli leaves, so that's a bit weird. He planted some radishes, so we'll see if those grow, but I'm not too worried about, the hurricane wrecking his garden. All right, so that is it for this before portion of this garden tour. It is Thursday, September 22nd. It's the morning. It's like not even 10 o'clock this morning. And please stop bouncing. The hurricane itself is supposed to hit us tomorrow afternoon. However, heavy rains are starting this evening. It's like a storm ahead of the storm type of situation, and it's not supposed to end until Saturday afternoon. So we'll see what this garden looks like in a roughly 48 hours. I'm feeling a little nervous, but see you guys later.